What's going, Noah? Spread around the room. Welcome to stage is Bella Hull!
Hello, everybody. My name is Bella Hull, which is actually Italian for Beautiful UK City of Culture 2017. And I'm trying to get really good at multitasking at the moment because there was this girl at university and she was amazing at multitasking. And what she could do was she could recite the most beautiful opinion on the most recent Guardian piece on the private sector whilst simultaneously receiving money from her parents. It was great. Whilst simultaneously looking in the mirror because that girl was me and I'd like to apologise. It was a bad thing. But since moving to London, I've had to take my multitasking to the next level. So now when I have sex with someone, I'll kind of just douse their asshole in nail polish remover so that when I stick my finger in, I can multitask in a way that suits my lifestyle. That's kind of my thing. I'm also trying to save money at the moment, and one of the things I've resorted to doing is I cut my own hair now. It saves a lot of money, which means I treat the bottom of my hair a bit like my sexuality, and that I'm just going to assume that it's straight because it saves time. So I would recommend that. Wow, my hand's so moisturised. It looks amazing. One of the things I think saves a lot of time for men, though, is like their bodily plumbing. Like, I kind of am a bit jealous of how simple their system is because, you know, the temperature regulates the balls, and the balls, they regulate the dicks, and the dicks, they actually regulate the wage gap, and my heartstrings. Am I right, you know? What am I like? My ex-boyfriend, he actually works in tax now, and I always knew it was the perfect career for him because he would squeeze my boobs like they also owed him money. Yeah, that was great. And in a way they did, but I did not ask for those nipple tassels, John. And I'm sure as hell not going to be wearing them to your 50th birthday soiree. Stop asking, you gummy little pervert. Anyway. Yeah, that's made up. But I am in a relationship now, and his family are the complete opposite to mine because they actually speak to each other, and they really love like hiking and the outdoors. And I went on a hiking trip once, but the only thing that climbed anywhere was all of my healthy bacteria back inside my urethra. And that's how I got my 9th UTI of January. Fun times. But I was having a conversation with my boyfriend's mum, and she actually asked me what my favourite waterproof was. I know, I was lost for words too. And I thought about it long and hard. And I came to the conclusion that actually my favourite waterproof is just being inside. Because it's dry there, you know. Until your son's inside me. Just kidding, it's dry then as well. Sorry about that. Yeah, that was fine. I mean, I don't like hiking, I don't like walking. I do like watching TV. That's one of my favourite hobbies. It's very informative. And I think the amount of TV that I watched when I was growing up really kind of manipulated the way that I thought about myself, and it kind of changed my expectations of what I would be when I grew up. And I would always watch TV and think to myself, you know, I could make my family so proud by, you know, being like the Portuguese Ellen DeGeneres or like the Portuguese Sarah Silverman. Or even, you know, I could be a bit more hands-on and be like the Portuguese Bill Cosby. But ultimately, you know, we all have to learn quite unfortunate truths about life. And sadly for me, I had to learn that I'm just not Portuguese. Sad day. I'm actually mixed race. My mum is white and my dad's brown, but my mum remarried a white guy and moved to Henley-on-Thames when I was 13. So now when I visit their house, people just kind of assume that I'm the cleaner. And in a way, I am. I've rinsed them of most of their income. So that's that. My mum's great. She's my hero. Her 3 main interests are dog grooming, being thin, and seeking revenge. And she can be a bit depressed sometimes, a bit moody. She's had postnatal depression twice, once after me and once after my brother. I've also had postnatal depression. I just got it after my own birth. Never seemed to go away. I just yanked from the womb, and my first thought was, did I ask? Tricky one. I've been doing this for a while, and this is completely true. A couple of weeks ago, my estranged biological father, who I cut out of my life 10 years ago, found one of my gigs on Twitter and showed up. Don't worry, I don't find it funny either. I realised he was in the room when I was on stage, and he just walked in and immediately made me crumble. Sorry, he didn't make me a crumble. He made me disintegrate. He didn't make me a pudding. That's he's not my mum. But it was really kind of sad and upsetting, and it taught me one main lesson, and that was that I already knew the phrase blood is thicker than water, but what I didn't consider was that when a woman puts her precise location on the internet, that's really thick, and actually you shouldn't do that. It puts you in danger. We have a really toxic relationship. He's kind of one of those people who I both want to hurt and impress at the same time. And I've been kind of thinking about how I can conflate those two feelings and negotiate with them. But I've been kind of mulling it over, and I've come to the conclusion that maybe it's okay. Maybe multitasking with arseholes is just my thing. I've been Bella Hull, thank you.